Hey there, Aubrey. What's shaking?
Not too much. Lindsay, do you wear glasses?
I actually have glasses. Do I wear them? Not as much as I should.
That's the
Yeah.
question, right? Maybe I should wear them. I heard you mention this on episode 2200. You and Michelle were recording, and you said, I have to pick up my glasses later. And
Yes.
when you're saying, when people hit their 40s, their vision changes, I was like, this is a great topic for connection. I I end up asking people a lot about, like compliment their glasses, ask where they got them, and we end up talking about vision changes.
Interesting. This is a topic that I think you would never think about, but it's a great connection skill because it's talking about more than just vision, right? You could be getting into kind of the state of being human, getting older,
Totally.
fashion, beauty, self-image. There's a lot that could go in here that you could connect over with the person in front of you.
Absolutely. Yes,
Mhm.
depending on who you're talking to, right? It could go lots of different directions. You're
Mhm.
asking them and the conversation it's fun to see all the different branches of where it could go. And so we're going to give you some fun phrases to spark the conversation and also some vocabulary that is related that you might not know yet.
Love it. My dad for 30 years was an optometrist and was in private practice, and that was his career. And so I was always around
Mm,
these conversations about hearing the terms, and I don't know, this was
totally.
his world. So it
I
makes me
just
think of my
went to an
dad.
optometrist the other day. I shared this on the quiz because I have a bit of a vision anomaly right now.
That's right. You mentioned that a few weeks ago.
Yes, exactly. So what's happening
Yeah.
with my vision is as we get older, a lot of people become farsighted, and we're going to talk about what that means. You can see better far away. And
Okay.
I was nearsighted as a child, so I had LASIK surgery and it's
Oh.
now starting to fade, but it's fading at an equal rate that I'm becoming farsighted. So the optometrist was like fascinated that
Whoa.
my vision's holding pretty steady at 2020 because they're like counteracting each other. Lucky
Interesting.
me.
Wow. It's fun when you
Random.
can really get the doctor excited about
He was
something. I've
super
never
excited. He's
seen
like,
this
"This is
before.
cool." I
Right.
know, it
Get the
was
really
fun.
nerdy side of him coming out. That's fun. That's fun. I love that.
Yes. If you guys
Okay.
missed that quiz, these quizzes are super fun. They're in AEE Plus on Apple Podcasts. You can subscribe, and Jessica and I usually are the ones that record them, and they're
Yeah.
really fun. They're like 5 minutes, and it's a great check for understanding for the All Ears English podcast.
Yeah, I bet our listeners, when you mentioned the quiz, maybe they're thinking, what quiz are we talking
Wait,
about?
what
Maybe they
quiz?
aren't aware that you can get this, guys. It's a really cool opportunity to, you're listening to the episode and then you take an extra 5 minutes to test your listening. How did you do? Did you really understand? And you guys really put some good trick
Yes.
questions in there. Right?
Absolutely. And you often get some bonuses because sometimes we will mention a word in the episode and we
Hmm.
just move on. We either kind of
Yeah.
don't think about how it's a very unique word or
Or we
we're
don't have
thinking
time.
we'll
We just
define
don't.
it in the app. We don't have time. We don't want to stop and
Yeah.
define all of the interesting vocab. So
No.
in the
Yeah.
quiz, often we'll pull out and highlight some of those.
You got it. Love that. Yeah, we don't stop with every big word, guys. I mean, we want you to
Right.
learn from context, but the quizzes are a really good way for you to grab a little extra insight into those words that we don't define on the show. So, get
Yeah.
All Ears English Plus. You can only get it inside Apple Podcasts. So, you do need to listen inside Apple Podcasts, but go and check it out. All right?
Yes. Anomaly is a good example. I just used the word anomaly. I was like, I have a
Ah,
vision anomaly, but we just moved
right.
on.
Yeah.
Might be in the quiz.
Ooh, gotta sign up to check it out. And there is a trial, guys. I believe there's a 30-day free trial on that program. So
Nice.
you can't lose. All right. So,
Absolutely.
okay, first term, farsighted.
Yes. So this,
Yes.
Lindsay, are you farsighted?
I am a little bit
So
farsighted.
this means,
Yes.
yeah, you can
Yes.
see better
It's
far away.
confusing.
Happens as we get older. We need like
Mhm.
readers, we'll call them
Mhm.
glasses
Yes,
for
that's what I am.
farsightedness in order to be
Mhm.
able to read or see something close up. And
Yep.
yeah, it's very common. This happens as we age, usually right when we hit about 40, our vision starts to change.
My dad told me once it happens to everyone. Like there's no one that gets
Mm,
past 40 or like moves into past 40 without needing maybe they feel like they can see, but there's always slight
totally. It's
issues
more
with the
extreme for some than for
Mhm.
others, and maybe
Right.
people are just ignoring it and can't
Yeah.
see quite as clearly, but they just stop reading, some people, 'cause they're like, it's a little blurry, I'm just not gonna read anymore."
But it's really an interesting experience of yourself, right? When you start to notice this. and you're like, "I thought I was exempt from aging, and I'm
Ugh,
not." You
right?
know? I thought I was
I
the one
know.
that was gonna, you know?
Exactly. We always wanna
Um,
be the one that isn't gonna get affected by something, right? But
yeah.
because this is such a common human experience, it is a really, really good topic for
Yes.
connection. My
Excellent.
husband wears readers now. He
Mhm.
actually looks very debonair with them. They're
Yeah,
like, "I
I'm
love when he's wearing
sure.
his glasses."
Yeah, it can be kind of cute, right?
And glasses
Um
have improved. They're very stylish, and it's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
good look now. Like, once upon a time,
Yeah.
maybe it was embarrassing to wear glasses. Not now. It's at
Oh,
least in the
for sure.
States, it's
Yeah.
like a fashion accessory.
I mean, there are a lot of new brands popping up. I know Warby Parker is kind of a hot
Mhm.
brand. Yes, it is absolutely a piece of fashion, glasses,
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a nice thing to be able to compliment someone. We'll share in the phrases in a little bit, so stay tuned
Yeah.
that, yeah, if you notice you like someone's glasses, you should mention it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so farsighted is when we can see better far away. I always get confused between the 2,
Mm,
farsighted, nearsighted. Next
seems
one is nearsighted. Huh?
Yeah, so this means you can see better close up. This is as a child. It's also called myopia, and I
Mhm.
had this. So if I wanted to read and I didn't have my glasses on, I would have to hold a book like right by my face. It would get blurry if it was even like a foot away.
I
I had to
see.
hold it so close. I couldn't see the big E on the eye chart. It was
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
So
Okay.
I had to have starting in 4th grade, I had very thick glasses, and then I wore
Oh,
contact lenses for a long time, but then I got, like,
yeah.
LASIK surgery when I was 25.
Wow, okay, yeah, and that's kind of what was new. Maybe was it new at that time, like,
It was pretty
LASIK?
new at the time,
Mhm, it was new
yeah,
at that
and
time.
it's probably been perfected, improved. I was lucky because my vision was too severe, too bad to get LASIK surgery, but I had abnormally thick corneas, so they still were able to do it. They were like, "Good for you. Your corneas are abnormal." So because they just laser them to,
Wow.
shoot the laser in, right?
Whew. Wow, yeah, I don't know a lot about how it works, but very interesting. Is there a bonus vocab here to go along with this?
Yes, I heard this word recently on, a podcast, Las
Mm,
Culturistas. I love that podcast, and Bowen
mm,
Yang said myopic. It's an adjective that means lacking imagination, foresight, or insight, like intellectual insight, and we
okay.
bring it from this, this illness, this vision disease,
Ah,
myopia, and,
mm.
I was like, "Ooh, I need to use that word more often." It sounded so intelligent when he said it.
It makes sense, right? If we have myopia,
Mhm.
we can see better, we can't see ahead, right?
Right.
And so lacking foresight, imagination, being able to maybe think abstractly, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly, right? So you
Mhm,
could call yourself myopic if you didn't see something coming you should have, something like
mhm.
that. It's a great adjective.
Really good. And then astigmatism.
Yes,
Uh,
so this a lot of people have this, it is like blurred or distorted vision at any distance.
mhm.
So it has to do with the cornea having an uneven curve. So a
Yeah.
lot of people who have glasses or wear contacts, they might have an astigmatism, and they could have had it since they were a child.
Yeah. I used to think when I was a kid, when I would hear my dad say this word around the house because was an eye doctor,
Right?
I thought it was, he has a stigmatism. Like, I didn't know it was astigmatism.
I did too as a kid. I
You
remember
did
being
too?
surprised when I saw it written. I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was,
It's
stigmatism."
confusing. Yeah,
It's
for
funny,
sure.
we both experienced that. Though my dad
Excellent.
was not an eye doctor, so he didn't randomly
Yeah.
say this word as he
Right.
wandered through the
Yeah,
house.
come out at dinner time. Okay.
Exactly.
So
But because I had glasses, I had thick glasses, I remember people asking me a lot if I had astigmatism, and I
interesting.
thought it was
Yes, I
stigmatism
have
as
one.
well.
Yes, I have one. I have
Yes, I do
astigmatism.
have one. I have one stigmatism.
Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny to think about what we thought about certain words as a kid,
Mhm.
or even songs, what I thought songs were saying and what they were actually saying. It's hilarious.
Yes, this is a very common experience, right? For you guys learning English as well as for us native speakers, you misunderstand song lyrics, you
Yes.
misunderstand what word someone's saying. This happens all the time.
Yeah, because often what we hear is what we can conceive of in our worlds, right?
Exactly.
And so we create our own version of the song, and adults do that too. It's not just kids. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Aubrey. So, phrases for connection. Let's get to the connection moment. We know some vocab. Now, what does it mean? Why does it matter? How do we connect with it? Yeah.
Right, exactly. Start the conversation. The first thing you can do if you see someone wearing glasses, especially if you haven't seen it before, like if Lindsay were to wear
Yeah.
glasses
Wow.
to
That'd
one of
be.
our fluency parties or open conversation, I absolutely would, say, "Are those new glasses? I love them. Where did you get them?" Like, this is a great conversation starter.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I love your glasses, right? Are those new glasses, like you said? Where did you get them? So good. Okay. What
Yeah,
else?
and then you can also share if you've needed them. I would probably say I've had glasses all my life, or I needed glasses when I was a kid. And
Hmm.
if the person you're talking to doesn't have glasses or you don't know, this is a great
Hmm.
way to spark the conversation and just share about you first, right? Be like,
Right.
I've had glasses all my life. I wear contact lenses now. What about you?
Mhm.
Have you ever needed them?
Right. Great conversation. I mean, everyone's going to be
Yeah.
able to relate, right? Maybe that person hasn't needed them yet, but they have a sibling that has really bad vision or something, and they have a story, right?
Exactly. Yes. And you can also share because a lot of us are sort of dreading that moment when we start needing readers, when
Yeah.
we start developing that farsightedness. So you could just share, ask, if they're experiencing it yet. Like, oh, do you need glasses yet? I'm dreading it. I know we're all going to get there.
Yeah, that is the most interesting connection moment, I think, because
Yeah.
again, it means that we're human beings subject to aging, right? And
Right.
we can't get away from that, and you can connect around that because people do struggle with that, legitimately struggle, right? And it
Yeah.
goes beyond just, when we start to see wrinkles on our face and our knees start to hurt. These are real experiences.
Yes, right? A lot of us have fears about it or at least
For sure.
insecurities. And if we
Yes.
can share that this is a common experience, it can lessen it for them and also really bond you.
Oh, you immediately feel closer to the person once you've had a
Yeah,
conversation. I don't know if we can convey how powerful this is, but I think our listeners know, right?
totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then
Okay.
there are some fun follow-up questions if someone does have glasses, right? You can ask, how long have you worn glasses? Or did you have to try on a lot of pairs before you found the right ones? Because that can be a
Mhm.
process.
You could also get into a whole conversation around how that industry is changing. When my dad
Hmm.
was a doctor, like people had to come into the office, get that old chart, sit in front of the chart with the E at the top,
Right?
right? But now I think there are apps now that programs have where you can test yourself, get your prescription, and then order online, right? So
Yes,
you could talk
exactly, so you
about the
could ask them,
changes.
"Did
Yeah.
you try Warby Parker? Did you have glasses shipped to your house to try? What was that
Right.
like?"
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of conversation around change that can be had too. Yeah. Love it.
Exactly.
So, role play, Aubrey. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do a quick role play. You and I are shopping here. Do you wanna start us out?
Cool. Hey, are those new glasses? I really like them.
Thank you.
Oh, I just picked up some glasses last week. Started to develop some farsightedness.
Happens to the best of us. Do you just wear them for reading?
Yes, and sometimes driving. Ooh, I love
Nice.
this. I love the phrases here, especially happens to the best of us.
I love that too. This is so native and natural and such a and this I think it applies to this more than anything else, right? Well, it's gonna
100%.
happen to all of us, happens to the best of us.
Oh my gosh. Yes, this is a great phrase, guys. Write that down, right? Because any common experience you could use it for, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to think.
Absolutely, right? Even, like, maybe you slip on some ice on your front step and
Right.
you're kinda like, "Oh my goodness, I fell out." Happens to the best of us.
Tons of things you could use this for. And again, you could feel closer to the person. I also like how, I said, I just picked up some glasses last week. And then I said, starting to develop some farsightedness. Interesting because I'm taking off the subject and the verb, right? I'm starting. No, I am just starting to develop, right?
Absolutely, right? This is a casual conversation, we're shopping, we do this all the time. We'll
Hmm.
drop the subject and verb and just use that present continuous verb instead.
I love it.
Starting to develop some farsightedness, and we know
Yeah.
it's implied that you're referring to yourself.
So natural. Anything else we want to highlight in this role play, Aubrey?
Yeah, I love I think just to get a little deeper, like if you ask someone if they have glasses or why they have glasses, it would be pretty easy to just stop and switch the conversation to something else. But just
Hmm.
recognizing like you can get deeper. And at least in American culture, this is not offensive to ask about someone's vision changes, right? So I
Right.
went just a little deeper with a follow-up question saying, "Oh, do you wear them just for reading?" You're going to share, "Oh, and maybe for driving," and then see where the conversation takes you from there. Like you said, Lindsay, then you could
Hmm.
dive into the differences in shopping for glasses and how is that industry evolving.
Yeah, I think when it comes to these conversations where we're trying to connect, it's interesting to kind of throw out one additional question and see if there's more there, not
Yeah.
just switch the topic when someone
Mm,
has disclosed something. Like I just had to start wearing glasses. That's a little bit of a self disclosure, right?
right, exactly. And you can kind
So,
of get whiplash in a conversation if you're changing the topic too fast, too
mm,
often. Like instead, ask some
yeah.
follow-up questions and see if there's more there.
Ooh, Aubrey, that would be a great idea for a future episode on All Ears English, conversational whiplash and how to avoid it.
Ooh, I love that. Yes, hit follow,
Oh,
guys. We'll have
it's
to
so
do that
good.
one very soon.
That is so good, guys. Hit that follow button. And I was gonna say something else, but I forgot, so that doesn't matter. Let's go to the takeaway. Aubrey, where should we leave our listeners?
Yeah, so keep in mind in American culture, and I'm actually curious in your culture, this will be our Spotify question. We want to know, is it too personal to ask about vision changes? In American culture, it's not. We
Yes.
chat about this, we ask, we compliment glasses. It's a great
Mhm.
topic for connection, but it could
Yes.
be different in different cultures.
I'm super curious about this, guys. So
Yeah,
participate in our poll. To do the poll, you need to be over in Spotify. So we're going to be listening in multiple places here. But guys, go
absolutely.
ahead and answer our poll and we will, maybe if it's an interesting result, we'll reveal the answer on a future episode. Right, Aubrey?
Yes.
Who knows? Yeah, good
Awesome.
stuff.
So
All right.
fun. This is a really fun topic for connection, guys. Don't hesitate to ask someone, compliment someone's glasses, ask
Yeah.
them about it, and dive into that conversation.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out today. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.